Hey guys, earlier this year, I decided to do a Twitter thread where I posted all of the games that I beat this year and a little blurb about what I thought about them. And at the end of the year, I decided, why don't I make a tier list of all the games that I beat this year? So that'll be fun. Um, moving that there. So this is every game that I beat this year, with some that I beat late last year but didn't count because I didn't beat them in 2023, and some that I haven't beaten yet but have started in 2022 or 2023. Sorry. So I guess let's start with Shadow the Hedgehog. I hate it. I I don't hate it as much as other people do. I don't think it's the worst game ever made or anything. I don't think it's the worst Sonic game. I just think it's pretty bad. The gameplay itself is fine. I like the gunplay. I actually like the guns. I like the way it feels. I like the aesthetic. I like the edgelord vibe it has. Um, the music's pretty good. There's a lot I like about it. I just hate the structure. I hate the multiple paths. It doesn't help that no matter what you pick, your ending isn't canon. Only the true ending is. So there's not much point story wise to have alternate paths and good and evil system. It's just it feels pointless. The structure's not good. There's like a million ways to fix it, I think. Like maybe a hub world of some sort like Station Square where a bad guy will come up and be like, "Shadow, I need you to help me do this bad thing." And Sonic will be like, "Hey Shadow, let's go do this good thing." And then Shadow will be like, "I need to find the Chaos Emerald." And then you choose a level or something in the hub world maybe. But like there's got to be something, some other way to do this that makes it work better. Because as is, the alternate paths, the structure of like a map system that leads to different pathways depending on what you pick, it's just not good. And a Sonic game should not have missions like kill every enemy when there's like 65 of them and the level's like 11 minutes. That just doesn't fit Sonic the Hedgehog to me. And yes, a Sonic, this is not a fucking spin-off. It plays the same as other Sonic games. It's canon. It's in the same universe. It's the same genre of game. It uses the same engine as the last game. It's a mainline Sonic game. I'm fucking counting it. I feel like the idea could be improved upon in a later game. Like I could see a Shadow the Hedgehog 2 coming out at some point that is an actual pretty good third person shooter with a good structure and it just works. This is Tinykin. This is a 3D platformer collectathon with a Pikmin skin, like a Pikmin vibe, where you have little guys. I think they're called Tinykin. Yeah, that makes sense. That follow you, that you use to build bridges, solve puzzles, break things. I think it's good. I'll put it in great. It's really fucking good. It's just it has issues. The main one being there's no enemies, so I felt like there was no peril the whole time. Like it just felt safe. I don't like feeling safe the entire time, where there's no risk outside of bottomless pits and some stage hazards. And then the other thing is that this is one of the worst cases of you're missing one coin equivalent at the end of a level, and you have to spend like 1,000 hours scrounging the world to find the one little pixel that you missed because they're so tiny and hard to see, and everything's a 2D sprite. So in like a 3D world, so they don't stand they blend in really. It's weird. I just don't like that aspect of it. I feel like an easy way to fix this is like I don't know, some kind of detector, something. Like there's technology in it. You're like a little space dude, so you have like little gadgets. Maybe have a little gadget that like a thing on your back will glow when you're near one of the collectibles when there's not much left. Kind of like the whistling in Ukulele. Something like that, man. Because I had fun in a level, and then I looked at the end and I saw that I was missing like two of the collectible pollen, I think they're called, and I spent like an hour looking for it and it drained me. Also, the time trials suck. But overall, like the level design is good. The levels are good and unique. The gameplay's fun. I love the way the game looks. I like the soundtrack. I just I just really like the game as a whole. It just has those made two semi-major issues, but I still think it's a great game overall. Frogger Adventures is the next thing I'm let's playing. I have it all recorded and uploaded to YouTube. They're going to be made public over the course of January. It's not a great Let's Play because I suck at Let's Playing games to get the focus on like this, but I wanted to try it. I think it turned out okay, but I don't know. As for the game itself though, it's really short and it's really hard and there's frustrating moments without if you don't have save states. But I loved it as a kid. I have nostalgia for it and I feel like it's a good game overall. At minimum it's getting a good. I don't think I can bring myself to put it in the great section, but that may change. This is all subject to change. Alex Kidd, I fucking hate this game. Fuck this game. Alex Kidd in Miracle World DX game sucks. Um, I, I, it's wonky as hell, and I know it's like, oh, Jira, it's a Master System game from like 20, 30, 40 years ago. Cut it some slack. And my answer to you is, Castlevania is also like from the 80s. Mario 1 is. Mario 2 is, I think. Mario 2 USA, not Mario 2 Japan. I think, yeah, the first Mega Man. Plenty of games from this era that hold up, that are wonky, but are still fun despite that. And Alex Kidd is not that. Alex Kidd is wonky and also has the gall to be boring. It is a bland, bog standard 2D platformer. And again, I know you're going to be like, hey, it was early days. Platformers were, like, it was probably unique at the time. Like, no, no, no. Again, Mario, Mega Man, those are all more creative than this. They have creativity to it. Alex Kidd just feels like a bunch of blocks put in a world with no rhyme or reason. The bosses suck, the levels suck, it's all boring and lifeless to me. There's like nothing to it. I just don't like it at all. And like DX, you would think fixes it, and it kind of does. I had to do like 4 playthroughs of this game because I platinum trophied it. That might have been why I hated it, but who knows. I had to play it without infinite lives, and I think without the bonuses that make the game play better. And it was unbearable. I hated it. It took me ages to beat it. It was just draining and awful. And then I played it with infinite lives and the better controls, and the game was boring as hell. It was so fucking boring. Every level was so bland and lifeless. I hated it. I I wish they made a new game instead of a fucking remake, because Alex Kidd, maybe the later games are better, but the first one sucks. I've never played the later Alex Kidd games. If you guys say they're good, I'll try them or whatever, but I doubt they're going to be much better, but who knows. On the opposite end of the spectrum, Ape Escape is my first adored it. I fucking love this game. Like, again, this is nostalgia speaking, but I swear it's not all nostalgia. Like, I'm trying to figure out how to word this, because I feel like I would love this game even if it came out today, or even if like I never played it before when I was a kid. It's just, I love the unique control setup that makes it stand out from other platformers. I like the setup with like your collectibles, like your stars and jiggies equivalent, is a living thing that you have to chase, and I feel like that's so unique and cool. And like the monkeys have personality. The level themes are great because of the time travel gimmick. I love going to dinosaur level and like the fucking temple levels and like the space levels, the future levels, the modern day levels. They're all really cool. It has issues. The controls haven't aged the best, but I think it's an amazing game. I know the later games fix things about it, and I adore Ape Escape 2 and 3. But like, I still got to put 1 and adored it as well, man. It's so fucking good. God, and the cutscenes, they're like so corny and cheesy. Like, they're so bad, but in a way that's funny. Like, it's not the way you're like, oh god, this is awful. It's the way where you're snickering at like how bad of a line read it was, or how weird stilted the dialogue is. It's just, it's fun the entire way. Like, there's issues. I don't think the time trials are good. The mini games are just kind of lame and forced. The Spectre coins don't do much except unlock the shitty mini games. But it's just really good, man. I just really fucking like Ape Escape, the original Ape Escape. So I have to put it in adored. And to prove I'm not one of those people that's like older games are better, Persona 5 Strikers is also going in adored. I fucking love this game so much. Like, I love the aesthetic of Persona 5. I love the black, whites, and reds. I love like the kind of comic booky manga vibe it has art-wise. I love the music. I love the feel. I love the idea of the Phantom Thieves and stuff. It's just right up my alley as sort of like an edgy superhero kind of thing with like darker shit happening. It's really good, man. I fucking love it. But I don't like the gameplay of Persona. Like, I don't like outside of Pokemon and some Mario, I'm not huge into turn-based RPGs. So, I don't like Persona, or at least Persona 5, gameplay-wise, but whenever I see my partner playing it, or I see a Let's Play of it or whatever, it's like, I fucking love the aesthetic of this game, man. And Strikers gives me the aesthetic and the vibes with a gameplay that I like more. Action hack and slashes, character action games, whatever you guys want to call them. I love the gameplay. I love the worlds. Like I love the levels you explore. The aesthetic is amazing. The music's amazing. Like I love mixing the hack and slash gameplay with the Persona like gameplay of the types and the type balancing and shit, and like having to figure out, oh, these are ice enemies, they're weak to fire, or this guy's weak to like lightning or whatever. Having the multiple partners and they're all playable is cool as hell too, because they each play differently and there's so many party members you can switch between. It's just so fucking good, man. Persona 5 Strikers is so fucking good, and it saddens me we're never going to get another one. There's never going to be a Persona 5 Strikers 2. There's probably not going to be, if there's a Persona 6 Strikers, it's not probably not going to have the same aesthetics as Persona 5 does, which sucks, but whatever. Um, and I know there's other Muso games, but they don't have the same structure as Persona 5 Strikers does. I just, I love this game so much, and I'm angry that we're never gonna get a sequel, probably. Oh well. Kingdom Hearts. I was gonna play through all the Kingdom Hearts games this year, again, because I played them all before. Um, I didn't end up doing that because my partner wants to play through 2 Critical together, so I'm saving 2 to play through that, and I don't want to play Chain of Memories. But Kingdom Hearts 1, it's great. It's not like my favorite game of all time. It's not an adore level of thing, but it's really fucking good, man. I just love the vibe. I love the feel. I'm like a Disney freak, or at least I was when I was a kid. I'm less into them now, but I fucking love Disney. So seeing all these characters and worlds in a game that looks this good with a lot of the voice actors returning, like the world design's good. I love the gameplay. Like I love action RPGs, and I love the way it combines Final Fantasy with more so like action platformers. The other games, later games, kind of lose the platforming element that the original Kingdom Hearts has, which isn't the end of the world. I think Kingdom Hearts 2 is a better game. I like Kingdom Hearts 3, possibly more than 1. It's kind of neck and neck, but Kingdom Hearts 1 has a vibe with the platforming that I think the later games don't capture as well. I think it's a great game. I love how edgy, deep, like we're deep, man. We're philosophical. The story gets, or whatever. When it's just stupid Final Fantasy Disney characters, it's great. I love the Kingdom Hearts series, man, and I'm glad I got my partner into it because they love it too now. I highly recommend. It's easy to get nowadays. It's in a million HD collections. It's on like Xbox, it's on Steam, it's on PlayStation, it's on PlayStation 3. There's the PS2 originals. I don't recommend the Switch version because they're PS2 games and yet they're cloud versions, which I don't get. But whatever, that's the thing for a later date. Okami HD, I'm gonna put into great. Um, I loved it. I had a lot of fun with it. It's great. I'm not normally into Zelda likes, but that game, I don't know, it made me more into Zelda likes. It got me into the genre slightly. But it's too easy. I didn't die one time, even going for all the stray beads, all the demon scrolls, whatever, or whatever, like all the devil gates, all of that. And I didn't die once. I didn't even come close to dying once because this game showers you with healing items. Enemies don't do a ton of damage. There's a bunch of Infinity Stones that just let you fucking spam your ink powers. The game's too easy. I don't know. I just felt like it was too easy. It dragged a bit at the end, but overall, it's a really good game. Like, it's just not in my tippity top tier. You know, highly recommend it. I think I liked the Switch version more than the PS4 version, but the PS4 version had trophies, which was like it gave me more incentive to 100% the game, and I feel like I wouldn't have 100%ed the game otherwise, and I wouldn't have liked it as much unless I 100%ed it. So I feel like that pushed me in the right direction. SpongeBob and the Cosmic Shake. I have no idea if this is controversial. It's okay. I think it's fine. I think SpongeBob and the Cosmic Shake is fine. It's a perfectly fine game. It's okay. It's a 3D platformer. It's linear. It's more so. I don't know what to compare it to. Mario 3D World style levels, but there's some alternate paths here and there to give you an illusion of it being a bigger level than it is. My major gripe, I don't know. It just felt it was more creative than Battle for Bikini Bottom level wise, and I'm thankful for that. I didn't think the gameplay was as strong because it just felt more boring and a little more wonky. I don't know. I didn't have as much fun with it as Battle for Bikini Bottom, and I went in with no expectation. Like, I don't know. I went in not trying to compare it to Battle for Bikini Bottom, but I still kind of like. I feel like Battle for Bikini Bottom is better, but we'll get to that later, I guess. It's fun. It looks nice. The music's good. They got, I think, all the voice actors back. It's great. But the overall gameplay is boring to me, and I feel like that knocks it down at least a few pegs. Rayman Legends. I want to say adored it. Uh, I might put it down to great. It's in between great and adored it right now. I think it's really good. I think it's better than Origins. I would prefer a 3D Rayman game, as a new 3D Rayman game, as opposed to Legends, but Legends is still fucking good, man. It's a great time with friends or alone. I love the level themes. I am so fucking sick of grass level, water level, fire level, mountain level, swamp level, ice level, over and over again. So I admire Rayman Legends for doing weirder stuff, like a chef themed level, a chef themed world, or like an Mexican themed world or whatever, and mixing the two together. It was really cool. Like the ice world is kind of, I don't know. I just feel like this game's aesthetics and level themes knock it out of the park with like creativity, while also taking old level themes and making them super creative again. It's just great, and I wish Mario did it more. But that's neither here nor there. Gameplay's fun. It's really fun. It's like a 2D platformer. There's issues like the forced multiplayer, not the co-op multiplayer, the online multiplayer forced shit that like you have to do for trophies or whatever. Like it knocks it down a peg slightly, but that's not forward. Like you don't have to do it if you're not going for trophies. And I think it's a really fun time. I think 4 players is going too far. I think 2 is perfect. If you play this game with 2 people, you and a partner or a friend, that's when it shines most. But it's not like unplayable with 4. I think it's a really, really good game. I don't know, there's not much else I can really say. It's just a really good 2D platformer. It's kind of basic, but it does everything right in my opinion. Little Gator game. This is a hard game to describe. I'm gonna put in great, I guess. It's hard. Little Gator game is a Breath of the Wild game. It's Breath of the Wild on a smaller scale, and it's more so silly and cutesy. It's the kind of game that they want you to play when you're like need to unwind for a little bit. You can run around the island, ragdoll, use little gadgets to climb up like little cliffs and like hover down or whatever, talk to cute NPCs, just like have a nice calm time, unwind at the end of the day. I love it, but I feel it doesn't have enough meat on its bones. It's a really short game. I feel like maybe if there was a third island instead of just 2, or it was like even an hour or 2 longer, maybe I would have liked it a lot more. But like, it's still a great game to unwind to. I recommend getting it. I think it's only 15 bucks. I could be wrong. I recommend getting it for that price. It's a short game. There's not a lot to it, but it's a calming experience. You know? It's a cute little calming game. Recommended. Demon Turf. Putting it in great too. I would put it in adored if it wasn't for the major flaw that this game has. That I don't know if it knocks it down to great for me. the repetitive nature of it. I'm gonna open a water, so if this shows up, I'm sorry. We're good. Um, the repetitive nature of Demon Turf kind of hurts it for me. Like, I don't know how to word this. You beat a level, right? You beat level 1, let's say. And then you have realized you have to beat level 1 again as a time trial. And you're like, okay, that's fine, I guess. And you spend a while beating level 1 as a time trial, it's fine. And then you get to you beat the world, and it unlocks level 1 again as like a slightly edited, darker version of it, where like it's the same core level, but things are mixed around a little bit. And you beat it, and you're like, okay. And then you have to beat it again under a time. Like, you have to beat a level, beat the time trial for the level, beat the slightly edited dark version of the level, beat the time trial for the slightly dark edited version of that level. And I feel like it's just draining playing what's almost the same level 4 times, sometimes 5 or 6. And that's if you get them perfectly. You could beat a level and miss like 2 collectibles and have to replay the level in order to find the other collectibles. And then, like, I like the idea of the checkpoint system, where it's like you put your own checkpoints down. I don't know if it's just me. I keep forgetting this exists. And when I do remember that it exists, I am too scared to use it. Like, that's my fault entirely. Like, you put down a checkpoint, but I'm scared because you only get like 3 checkpoints per level, so you have to use them wisely, and I'm scared. But that's just me. The main issue is the repetitive nature of it, having to beat levels 4 or 5 plus times over and over again. It's just bad. But the overall gameplay is good. It's a nice expression platformer where you use your moveset to tackle things in different ways, where you can like wall jump and then do like a glide air dash to get to something early. For speedrunning tactics, it's really good. It's just the repetitive nature of 100%ing it that knocks it down from adored it to great. I just feel like there's a slight repetitiveness to it. You know, it's repetitive. It's just repetitive. And if I'm saying repetitive too much, then I also played these fucking levels too much. But at the core, it's a good game. I love the aesthetic. I love the vibes. Love the music. The gameplay is really good. It's just that repetitive nature. Okay, original Castlevania. It's okay. Hasn't aged the best. The controls are wonky. The fucking knockback is insane. At its core, there's a good game. There is a good game at its core that I feel like the later games did expand upon and make it really, really good. I just feel like the first Castlevania doesn't hold up as much. There's not much to say about it. It's like it's Castlevania. That's how it. That's how it be. Uh, so we're just gonna keep that one short, I guess. Pokemon Kanto Black. This is hard. It's hard for me to judge ROM hacks because at the end of the day, this is Pokemon Fire Red with some quality of life features and Gen 5 and 6 Pokemon. But at the end of the day, it's Pokemon Fire Red with Gen 5 and 6 Pokemon and quality of life features. At minimum, it's good. I played it a bunch of times. I'm Let's Playing it right now. As you probably know, I don't know how you would be watching this and not know that I'm Let's Playing it, but whatever. It's just really good. I really liked it. I really like it. I have Up to Erica recorded, and I'm enjoying it as much as I did before. It's still a really good game. I recommend. Again, it's not like it's not like an insane thing like Clover or Gaia, where it's like a whole new experience and like a new region with new whatevers. But it's good. It's really good. I don't know. I'll keep it in good. I kind of want to go great, but I don't want to fucking do that right now. Oh boy, another hot take. Spider-Man Miles Morales. I'm kidding. It's good. It's good. I'll put it in good. It's good. It's not as good as Spider-Man 1. I haven't played Spider-Man 2, so I don't know if it's as good as that. But it's pretty short. It's samey to the original Spider-Man, despite them trying to add things to mix it up. I don't know. I like the Venom Power editions. I hate that they called it Venom Powers when there's a character called Venom in the next game, and they knew that Venom was going to be in the next game, so I don't know why they still called it that. But I think it's good. It's not as good as the original, not as replayable as the original. I think the villain's not as strong, and I think like a bunch of the challenges aren't as unique or fun. I feel like the invisibility thing is cool. It just makes some stealth sections trivial. I think it's a good game, just not as good as the later games. Kirby's Dream Land. It's okay. It's fine. I had an okay time with it. It's the original Kirby. It's basic. It's kind of boring. It's bare bones, but it's a Game Boy game. What do you expect? Like the level design's still nice. The enemies are really cool looking and cute. The level design feels like an actual level, unlike fucking Alex Kidd. I say that because I realize I just said it's a Game Boy game, so what do you expect? And I'm sure people are gonna be like, it's a second Mega Drive game. What do you expect, or whatever. But Kirby Dream Land still holds up okay. Like it's kind of boring. It's really short. You can beat it in like 20, 30 minutes. But I still had fun with it. It still holds up. It's just not the greatest thing of all time, or whatever. Later games are obviously better. Spider-Man. Spider-Man PS4, PS5. I'm putting it in a door. I normally don't like open world games. They're not my thing. They're not my shtick. To the point where I think the genre right now is oversaturated, but it's getting better. But I'm not going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about it in like a different video probably. Spider-Man's so fucking good. I love the open world. They nail like the humor and vibe of Spider-Man. I feel like they understand Spider-Man more than a lot of other people who make shows, cartoons, stuff like that do. I like the open world. I like the challenges outside of the screwball ones. I like the DLC. I love the combat. I think the stealth is actually fun because it doesn't force you into stealth most of the time. A lot of these games are like you have to stealth through this section, but this game is like you can stealth through it. But like if you get caught, you don't die instantly. You just have to tackle it in a different way, so you can stealth half the mission and then figure out when's the best time to blow your cover. It's so good. The gadgets are fun. The gameplay's fun. The swinging is fun. It's just fun swinging around the city. Hot take: I guess Spider-Man's good. I know everyone already knows that this game's amazing, but it's so fucking good, guys. It's so good. I recommend it so much. I can't wait to play 2. Once I can afford 2, and once it's on sale or whatever, I'm sure that that game's also going to take over my life. Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. This might actually be a hot take. It's fine. It's fine. Like the gameplay's fine. It controls well. It looks good. It sounds good. It feels good. It's kind of boring. I had fun enough with it, I guess. There's not a lot of side content, and it's not game length. Like the game's long enough. It's 12 to 15, I think. I think my final playtime was like 13 and a half, almost 14 on my first playthrough. It's fine. It's just there's not side content. I feel like one of the cool things about Ratchet was that it had the obstacle courses. It had the fucking arenas. It had space battles. It had like hover bike races. It had hoverboard trick race stuff. It had like fucking the hacking mini games. It had the Captain Cork video game things from 3. It had like just stuff on its bones. It had stuff that was added to it that made them better. And I feel like Rift Apart took that all away. It just cut it all out, and it feels like a very boring, straightforward Ratchet and Clank game that controls fine, looks fine, feels fine, like I said. But at the end of the day, you feel like that was okay. I'd rather play Ratchet and Clank 2 or Ratchet and Clank 3. I admit, part of this might be nostalgia blindness. Part of this might be that I paid full price for it. Because it was like my most, and part of it might also be that it was like my most anticipated game of the year it came out. It was just a game that I was looking forward to and followed like the development of and all the trailers too. I think it's just okay. Like it's a good game, and I feel like at the core of it, they could make an amazing Ratchet and Clank game with this as the heart and basis of it. I like even shit that people hated about this game. I liked Rivet. I liked Like, there's shit that I like that other people don't, but I still don't think that this game's that good. The guns are all samey. Like, so many of the guns, I think 3 or 4 of them are just throw out a turret or a little robot minion. They fight for you or attack for you. And there's no creativity to the guns anymore. I remember when there was like a liquid nitrogen gun that like spat out like weird ooze that would just freeze people, or like a meteor gun that would shoot out little meteors from the like air that would go up and then down or whatever. There was like the Groovatron acid flamethrowers. There was just really cool old guns, and I feel like the newer one more so feels like pistol, shotgun, rocket launcher. There's some guns that are exceptions, but I think it's just a boring weapon arsenal. I love the platforming. The Phantom Dash is cool. I love the little sections where you open a rift and have to like platform through a thing. Those are fun. There wasn't enough of them, and it wasn't like deep enough for me to enjoy much. I think it's just okay, but they could have something really amazing on their hands with the next Ratchet game. Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated. It's good. It's good. It's good. I wanted to say it's because I grew up with it, but I had friends watch me play it the first time I played it that never played the original, and they also thought it was good. So I think there's something here that isn't just nostalgia blindness. It's a good game, especially for like a fucking licensed kids game. It's not going to give like Mario 64 or Mario Galaxy a run for their money or anything. It's not going to be like, oh, this is Spyro's Killer or whatever. But it's a good 3D platformer. It's a good collectathon. It's fun enough. If you like the humor of the show, you'd like the humor here. The levels are creative. As a kid, it's really nice and cool being able to explore Bikini Bottom or whatever. It's just a really good game. Rehydrated could have been better. I don't know why they didn't get back Mr. Krabs' voice actor for it to re-record some of the lines. And there's lies, like when it was announced, they announced that there would be added content, and they're from the beta, and there just kind of wasn't. There's like a lame tacked on multiplayer mode that kind of had beta content, but it was still lame and not what was advertised. But it's really good. Don't get this game on Switch. I bought it on Switch originally, and it didn't work well. Like the pop-in was bad, the loading times were bad. I don't know if it was fixed. I got it at launch and beat it like a month in or so. And it was pretty bad. I haven't played it since on Switch. I played it on PS4 this time. Good game. If you don't like SpongeBob, if you don't like aren't into SpongeBob, it'd probably be down here. But I think it's up here because of I like SpongeBob. I like the humor and stuff, so it's good. Sonic Heroes, Sonic Heroes, Sonic Heroes. I kind of want to go like this. I know it's wonky, I know it's janky, and I know there's issues like having to play the game 4 times, but I love everything else so much. Like, it is a childhood game, so it is nostalgia talking. I love its aesthetics. I love the music. The soundtrack's so fucking good. Look up the soundtrack. Um, I love the vibe it has, like the Saturday morning cartoon vibe it has. I like the cheesy humor. I like the levels. I like the variety. I in terms of like aesthetics, world to world, like they didn't feel like they had to stick to one world theme this time, or like that they had to make everything make sense as a world theme. I love the gameplay of it. I like the idea of like a team of 3 characters tackling a stage at once and having to work together. I think Heroes is one of those Sonic games that has like a gimmick or whatever that I feel you could make into a really, really fucking good platformer. Like you can take this concept of a team of 3 characters switching between them to solve puzzles as an amazing idea. Sonic Heroes doesn't quite get to that level, but I'll always love this game. Like it's so fucking good to me. It's just I know it's nostalgia. I know it's a childhood game, but it's so fucking good, man, to me. And for what it's worth, my partner hasn't really played Heroes much before, at least for a long time. And we played through it together to 100% it. They did not get bored or sick of it until mid to late Chaotix. Like mid to late fourth playthrough is when they started getting bored of it. And that's pretty good for a game that you have to play like 4 times. Just saying. Castle on the Coast. This one's difficult because I want to go here, But it's a game for sick children. It's a game that was made for sick children, and I think like I don't. I want to say the proceeds go to a charity. So for a game with a minuscule budget and the fact that they made it out of their kindness of their hearts to help a charity for sick children, I'm gonna say it's good. It's just that if you're an adult, it's not gonna have tons for you. The aesthetic is kind of wonky, I admit. Like I can see people playing this and thinking it's ugly. The game doesn't tell you enough. There's multiple times where I didn't know, where I was like missing a collectible, and I had no way of knowing which level or world it was in. But like, it's fine for kids. It's good. I don't think it's like gonna give anything else like Spyro or Crash or something a run for its money, but it's a good enough collectathon, and it benefits charity. So it would normally go to okay because I feel like adults wouldn't be into it because it's too simple, too basic, too empty feeling. But I feel like it's silly enough and cute enough for it to be worth it, and all your money goes to charity, I think. I could be wrong, and if I'm wrong, I'm sorry, but look into the Castle on the Coast. I think it's a charity game. Or at least donate to this to charity for me, please. Like, I want the kids to be happy. Um, God of War 2018. I want to go here or here. Good. It was good. I had issues with it. I adore the first three God of Wars. 1, 2, and 3 on PS2. Magnifique. They're great. 2018 almost is as good. I think it's worse than the God of War original trilogy. But it's not a bad game. I don't like... I don't know. Atreus is kind of okay, I think. I didn't really care about the story or care for the story. I felt like the gameplay wasn't as cool as the original. I missed the platforming. Okay, so games like this, DMC, God of War, Bayonetta, that kind of thing, they are inherently boring and repetitive. So what the good ones do is add a little bit of spice to fix the repetitive nature. Devil May Cry adds the combo system, the score system, or whatever, in order to make it interesting. The replayability, playing levels over and over to get the perfect score, the time trials. That's the spice that DMC has. The spice that God of War has is platforming and Zelda-like puzzles to break up combat and to make it more interesting, more brain teasery, so it's not just mindless action. I feel God of War 2018 misses both of those marks. It doesn't have the platforming or as much of the Zelda-like puzzles to keep things interesting, to keep things fresh and unique. But as a game itself, it's fine. I thought it was good. I had fun with it. I would rather play the original trilogy. Honestly, I'm struggling to remember a lot about God of War 2018. It's like forgettable to me, but it was fun enough while I was playing it. It's just something that I'm going to forget and not remember. It's just one of those. Super Mario 64 hasn't aged well, but I still like it. I want to go to great, but the poor aging makes me want to go to good. It's good. It's just that it's aged kind of poorly. I don't know. The wonkiness is still there. Like the wonkiness is there. But it has a charm. It's the original 3D platformer. I don't want to put it in just okay because I feel like there's good here, there's great here, there's amazing here. It's just, and it's not its fault that the 3D platformers that came later, even in the Mario series, did things better than this. But that's not its fault. So I'm gonna put it in good. It's a great time every time I play it, but it's showing its age more and more every fucking day, man. But I still think it's a good time. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Rescue Team DX. It's okay. I was never big into the Mystery Dungeon games. Uh, it was just never my thing. I find them very repetitive and boring. But I remember liking the original enough, and I remember liking the Explorers of Darkness or Sky enough. Honestly, I think this game is hideous. I don't like the art style. I think it's ugly as hell. And I think that does knock it down a peg or two, but not like enough to change its category. I would still put this in okay. I think it's an okay game. Like, I had an okay time with it. Nothing amazing, but I had fun with it. I like the quality of life features it adds from the originals. Or whatever. It's the best Pokemon remake ever made. Because it's at least somewhat better than the originals outside of the aesthetics and visuals. I need another drink of my water once I fucking find it. Here it is. I also realized I forgot to add a game, so I'm gonna remember to add it afterwards. Like after I rank everything else, I had to remember to add another game that I forgot to add. Oh boy. Bug Fables. It's great. Like, if you like Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door, you'll love this game. It's just really good. It's Thousand Year Door, but it does a lot of things better and some things worse. I don't like the lack of partner variety. I don't like that it's only 3 partners. But like, I love the aesthetics. I love the badges. I love the replayability with all the different badge combinations you can do. I like the exploration. I like a lot of the side content and side quests. I just find it a really good Thousand Year Door game. Like, it feels like a sequel to Thousand Year Door. I hope if there's a sequel, it expands upon a lot of the ideas here. Because it's a great game. I don't think it's quite in the Adore category for me. You know? Like, it's not one of my favorite games of all time. It's just a game I really like. Banjo-Kazooie. Might get slack. I'm gonna put it in good, I think. Maybe great. I'll try to talk myself into doing it in great. The game is really good, but if you die, you have to restart the entire thing for notes. And the last 2 levels, Rusty Bucket Bay and Click Clock Woods, are awful. I hate those levels. I hate them so much. Click Clock Woods is a cool idea, but the fact that you have to explore this gigantic level 4 times, and if you're missing like 2 notes, it could be anywhere in any of the 4 seasons, and the level's fucking massive, and climbing up the goddamn tree to find the last 2 notes, getting knocked down partway through. If I didn't have save states, I would have liked this game less. I just don't like the ending of it. Rusty Bucket Bay is awful, too hard, too infuriating. Click Clock Woods is too repetitive. Gruntilda's Furnace Fun, I think it's called. I like the idea of. The final boss is awful. I really hated the final boss so fucking much. But the gameplay itself is really good. The first few levels, really good. I really liked it. It's just the ending knocks it down from great to good to me. The last little bit. Next up, I might get shit for this. Saints Row's okay. The reboot of Saints Row's okay. I had a good time with it. The gunplay's fun. I loved exploring the hub world, overworld, whatever you want to call it. Missions were fun. I liked that there was a decent amount of mission variety. The side content was good. I think that Saints Row is a good game. The reboot. Not remake, it's not a reboot, it's like a requel, because it's like a reboot that the other events happen, whatever. I really liked it. It's the only Saints Row game I finished. I got part of the way through 4 and I stopped for some reason. My partner and I are doing 3 right now, and I think it's good. It's just, I don't know. I think I prefer Saints Row Reboot. I know I'm going to get crucified for that, so I'm going to keep this short. I really like this game. Think you should give it a chance if you like this. If you like GTA type games, I had a lot of fun with it. Mario Wonder. I'm gonna go to great. It's not the best game I ever played. It was kind of overhyped to me. It's just a really good Mario game, but I'm not gonna like lose my shit over it or say it's the greatest thing ever made. It was really good. I had fun with it. I like the aesthetic. I like the challenge. The challenge was good enough. I like the levels. I wish it didn't use the same boring level themes again. It's still grass, water, fire, ice, mountain, whatever, clouds, over and over again. But I feel like the aesthetic makes up for it. It was fun enough. It was a great game. It's not like my favorite or anything. And there's other 2D platformers I like way more. Like I like Rayman Legends more, for example. But it's a good game. I recommend it. I highly recommend it. Mario Sunshine. It's okay. Mario Sunshine's okay. And by okay, I mean weird, because it's a great game half the time, horrible game the other half of the time, which equals okay to me. Like, the gameplay's fun, the controls are fun, the missions are fun, I love the aesthetic, the game looks amazing, the game, like, is so beautifully controlled. But it's so bad in terms of 100 coin missions. It's so bad in terms of blue coin missions. Like, some of the side missions are awful. It's just badly designed in a lot of places. Like, I don't get why. It's not the amount of shines that you have that's important. It's that you beat missions 1 through 7 in each level. Because of that, it adds an all or nothing vibe to it. Like, you're either 100%ing this game or you're just getting the bare minimum because there's no reason to get more than the bare minimum. I just, there's easy ways to fix it, and I'm sure it exists, but I hope there's a Mario Sunshine ROM hack or mod, whatever you want to call it, for GameCube games that fixes these issues. There's an easy way to just have a like a blue coin counter neck on the mission select screen that tells you how many are in each mission, and make it so you can get a 100 coins in every mission. Because nothing hurts worse in this game more than going to a mission, getting like 92 coins, and realizing there's not enough coins. There's only 92 in the whole mission. And having to redo all that shit. Awful. But the gameplay is good. It controls well. The level design's good. I love the way it looks. The music's good. It's just... it's held back by shit design. Phaeton Batula, I think that's how you pronounce it, is hard to describe. I'm going to put it in good because I'm not qualified. I am not qualified to give a fair review of it. Like, what's the word? It's not a game in the broad sense of the term, I guess. It's like a kind of visual novel-ish. It's like you walk around and solve puzzles with no real chance of death, I think. And it's like trippy and is trying to make a statement. I am not educated enough to say what that statement is or if it's a good statement. I can only judge it as like a weird, trippy, spooky horror game. And I think it's okay at that. It's good at that. I just feel like I'm not smart enough to understand what it's going for or what it means. It's dirt cheap. I think I got it because it was like $2 on the eShop. I recommend it if you're into that sort of thing. Uh, another hot take. Sonic Frontiers, it's fine. I'm almost putting this in bad hated it because I didn't like it that much, but objectively, I guess, I could see that it's a good game that I just personally didn't enjoy, as opposed to Alex Kidd or Shadow, which I think are genuinely awful games. Sonic Frontiers is okay. I like Forces more than Frontiers. I said it. I say it all the time. I've been dying on this hill since the day I played Frontiers. Forces is better. Frontiers is a boring ass open world game with boring aesthetics, with okay regular Sonic levels, pretty good bosses, good music, and boring. I just found it so boring and repetitive. I was just going through the motions, playing it mindlessly. At least with Forces, I had some fun with it. I like the aesthetic of Forces more. I like the just straightforward level to level of Forces more. I feel like Frontiers feels forced, which is weird because Forces is the whatever. I think Frontiers feels forced. I feel like its open world feels forced. It's a generic, boring open world that I feel like was added there because open world games are a fad right now, and everyone wanted an open world Sonic game for some reason, so they gave them one. But they didn't don't really know how to do an open world. It's just kind of boring and okay. I the cyberspace levels are okay, but even then they fucked those up too because the the score at the end to get a rank is only tied to your timer and not your score. But originally, in the older 3D games, Heroes, Adventure, all that, you like had to do a mix of getting a good score while going fast, and it put more thought into it as opposed to just rushing through the level. There was more thought about, are the points I can get from killing these enemies worth it? 8 seconds would take to kill these enemies, knocking down my score by this percentage. And it added a lot more fun to the time trial shit and A ranks. Don't like Frontiers. Don't like Frontiers. It's fine, I guess. I like Forces more. I like a lot of other Sonic games more. It's towards the bottom of my totem pole of Sonic games. Blossom Tales and the Sleeping King. I'm gonna go for good. It is, for better or for worse, an old Zelda game like. It's not necessarily like a 2D Zelda. It's more so specifically like Link to the Past. If you like Link to the Past, I think you'll like Blossom Tales. It's kind of basic. It's kind of a... That's why I don't compare it to the later 2D Zeldas, which have more to them. This is a basic, like back to basics, simple game that's like Link to the Past. If you like Link to the Past, I think you would really like this game. I don't know if this... I assume the sequel's better. I've heard good things about the sequel. I haven't played it yet. It's a pretty good Zelda-like. Not much else to say. It plays like Link to the Past. It feels like it. There's parts that feel ripped off from Link to the Past, but I feel the game's really short. Like, it's not that it's short. It's like, I think the game's 8 to 10 hours. I think I beat it in around 8.5 hours, maybe 9. I feel it felt shorter than that, if that makes sense. Like, I didn't feel like it was that long, but it was apparently. Like, a game went by really fast. This is a chill video, so I don't mind drinking water. I hiccuped. I don't mind drinking water while I do this because it's a more chill video. I think Blossom Tales is good. Yeah, if you like Zelda, you like this. Super Sammy Roll. I think it's great. It's Sonic mixed with Monkey Ball. It's Monkey Ball style levels where it's a simple like floating geometry, get from one part to the other. But you're a little ball. You're a little dinosaur dude, and you roll around to move around. And you use your tongue to grab onto things, and you can fling yourself off of objects. And I feel like it's really good. Like, it's really fun, man. I could not put this game down for ages. Like, I played through all of it in like 2 days because I loved it that much, and it's a pretty fucking long game. My issue is it's a bit too difficult towards the end, and that's pretty much it. Like, I just really loved it. It's cute, it's challenging, it's fun, it controls well. There's cool shit where like you beat a level once and you're like, how the hell am I supposed to get like a minute off of my time on that? And then you replay the level and you have to like use your tongue to fling yourself off of something so you can bounce off a wall so you can skip a small section, and you feel like a genius whenever you figure that shit out. It's beautiful. It's great. Highly recommend Super Sammy Roll. Great game. I feel like it's not for everybody, and the time trials make it drag it down a little bit, which is why it's not an adored it for me. But eh. What is an adored it for me is Yakuza 7 Like a Dragon. Again, I don't know if I said this before. This is my second attempt recording this. I don't know if I said this in the first one or this one because it's been 55 minutes almost. I'm not huge into turn-based RPGs. Like, I'm just not huge into them. Yakuza 7 is different. Like, I don't want to, like, be one of those blind fanboys. Yakuza 7 is genuinely one of the greatest games I've ever played in my life. Like, it is so fucking good. It's so fucking good, man. I love the gameplay. I love the characters. I love the humor. I love that, like, the world that it's in. I love city aesthetics and locations. I just love a lot of shit about this game. It's so fucking good. It's so fun. I don't like the small grinding I had to do. Like, there's a bit of grinding I had to do in the middle. But I think overall it's a really fucking good game. Please play this if you would all like turn-based RPGs. I played most of the other Yakuza games before this. At least I played 0 and 1. I saw a stream from my friend Kiff of like 2 and 3, I think. And I watched some things for 4. So I feel like I don't know if jumping into 7 first is the greatest idea, but like I think this game's so fucking good. Like it's so good, man. On the opposite spectrum, uh, Colosseum's only okay. Pokemon Colosseum, it's fine. It's okay. It's average. Um, it does some things right. It does some things wrong. The double battles are cool. I like that it's only double battles. I like that it's trying to do something different with the Pokemon formula. I like the aesthetic of it. I like the music well enough. I like the idea of the Shadow Pokemon. My issue is that a lot of the teams are badly designed. There's a lot of like Sand Attack double team Sandstorm guys, and there's a lot of like you're confused, you're attracted, you're paralyzed, or whatever guys. That's not fun. That's just like boring and bad design in my opinion. I don't know. I feel like the teams are badly designed. It's really repetitive because they don't do enough to add stuff in between the Pokemon battles. Like it's kind of just battle after battle after battle after battle with barely any, you know, side stuff to do or like stuff in between like puzzles or whatever. I don't know. It's not the worst game I ever played. I hope XD fixes a lot of these issues. My partner and I did start XD, but we're just at the start of it. I haven't played long enough to tell if it fixes the issues I have with the game or not. But maybe. Maybe it does. Hopefully. Super Meat Boy Forever. This game sucks. Super Meat Boy Forever is awful. I paid $1 and like 99 cents for it, and I still feel ripped off. Meat Boy, the original Meat Boy, is tightly designed miniature platforming challenges. Meat Boy Forever is badly designed procedurally generated platforming challenges. It's an auto runner for no reason. This isn't a sequel to Super Meat Boy. This is a fucking spin-off. But it's hiding as a Super Meat Boy 2. This game's awful. I hate it. It's so short. It's frustrating, but not in a fun way like the first game was. It's not well designed. This should not have been like, what is it, a roguelite? A roguelike? Something? I don't even know. But I fucking hate Super Meat Boy Forever. It doesn't understand what is good, what made the original Super Meat Boy an amazing game. And I feel like they just didn't understand. Awful. Awful game. Um, I know you can't read this because this logo's awful, but this is Mighty Gunvolt Burst? I think, yeah. That's what it's called. Uh, it's good. It's a good Mega Man clone. I think it has neat ideas to make it not just a NES Mega Man again. It has the chips that give you new abilities and added features. And there's a cool program from I think Mega Man Zero where the more chips you add, the worse score you get. So you have to find out which like chips are best for which situations or whatever. You have to keep track of how many chip points you have. There's a bunch of cool secrets that make replaying the game and replaying levels cool. There's a bunch of playable characters. A lot of them are DLC, but they're cheap DLC at least. I had a good time. I'd rather play the Mega Man X games, or at least most of them, or like some of the later classic Mega Man games. But I had fun. I had a good enough time. Recommended. Froggun. Uh, I kind of want to go great. I'll go great. I'll die on this hill. Froggun is a great game. People shout on it. People make fun of it. I think it's good. It's a puzzle platformer where you're in like a diorama type level and you have to get to the exit while collecting things. You have a gun that you shoot out and it shoots out like a tongue, and whatever the tongue latches to, you stick to that platform. I think it's good. I had fun with it. I know a lot of people like this game sucks or whatever, but I had a good time with it. There's issues. The final level, like the bonus level you unlock after 100%ing everything, awful. It was just bad. The time trials kind of sucked. At points, the races are badly designed in my opinion. Uh, the music wasn't really memorable, but I think the gameplay overall stands up. It's good. It's pretty good. I really liked it. It's not like my game of the year or anything, but it's up there. It's like in my top 20 games of the year that it came out. I think it came out last year. I don't know. I might be dumb. Okay, so the difficult one. Let me do it like this. Yeah, like this. So I think I have them in order now. Okay, Uncharted. I played through all of them this year. This is probably going to be more rapid fire because I don't have a ton to say about this. Drake's Fortune, Uncharted 1. It's okay. Pretty good third person shooter. It was repetitive at times. The aesthetics were kind of boring. It was just jungle the whole time. Occasional temple. There was some bullshit parts that I found unfair and unfun. The final boss is lame and there's boring sections. But like, it has charm. It's the first in a series, so I'll cut it a little slack, I guess. It was great for the time. The gunplay is pretty fun. I had enough fun with it. The level design's good for most of the time. I had enough fun with it. It intrigued me enough. The action set pieces are pretty good. Not as good as the later games though. Uncharted 2. It's good. It's good. It's not my favorite game of all time or anything. Liked it more than the first. Had more set pieces. Had more action to it. The gunplay was a bit better. I liked the visual variety. It wasn't just icy area the whole time like I was scared it was going to be. There's a city and like there's a city, there's like a village, there's like a mountainous area, there's a snowy area, there's like a cavern. It's good enough. I think the magical elements go a bit too far with it with like the yetis and shit or whatever and like the city at the end. But I think it's good enough. Final boss sucks, but most of the bosses suck in Uncharted and I don't know why. Uncharted 3. About as good as 2. I liked it. Fun enough. Had my fun with it. Not much to say. It's kind of just more 2 again. I didn't like the aesthetic as much because it felt mostly desert the entire time. It lacked the variety of the other games to me, but I still had fun with it. Fine enough third-person shooter. Uncharted 4. It's good. I'd say it's a better than 2 and 3, but it's still not great or anything. I don't know. I'm just not into these games. They're good. They're fine. They're adequate. Had an okay time. Don't get how they're like revolutionary, the greatest games of all time type shit. But I thought they were good enough. I had a decent enough time. Nothing amazing, you know. Eh. Monster Boy and the Cursed Kingdom. I'm gonna put it in good. It's a 2D Zelda-like, and I know people hate when people, oh, it's a Zelda-like, huh? Just because it has dungeons. It's like, yeah, it's kind of the same vibe as a Zelda. There's like an overworld, there's dungeons, you get an item halfway through the dungeon that lets you solve the rest of the dungeon, and then you go back to the hub world, overworld, whatever, and then you have that new ability or item that lets you go through more of the overworld and get hidden items. It's a Zelda-like. I don't know. I thought it was good. I always love the idea of a game where you transform into different animals to gain different abilities. I think a 3D platformer collectathon should do that. Like, I think that's a great idea for a collectathon, transforming into different animals on the fly or whatever. And this game does enough with that that I think I do think the concept's really cool. I haven't played the other Monster Boy games or Wonder Boy. I think it's a part of a series. Those games are old as shit, and I know there's like 100 of them. I've only played this one, so Um, I recommend it. It's a good enough Zelda game. 2D Zelda has issues. Uh, I wish they told you how many of each of the collectibles are in each of the areas. Like if I'm missing heart pieces, it'll just say you're missing 2 heart pieces in the whole game, and it's like I don't know where they are, and I don't remember which ones I've gotten, which ones I didn't. But it's fine. Twilight Princess. I haven't finished it yet. It's okay. It's dragging on a bit. It's dragging on a bit. We're like multiple hours, like 20 hours in or some shit, I feel. And I feel like there's still like 4 dungeons left. And my partner and I are so drained. Or whatever. It feels really long. It feels like weird Ocarina of Time remake kind of thing. I don't like the wolf stuff. It feels tacked on and forced. It's not the worst game I ever played. I'm still having an okay time with it. I just think there are better. I don't know. I just think it's okay. That could change. The latter half of the game could be the greatest thing I've ever played in my entire life. Who knows? But now I have to add the last game that I missed, so give me a minute. Okay, the final game is the DMC reboot. I'm putting it in great. I don't care. I almost want to put it here. Like, it's almost here. But I admit it has issues, so I'm putting it at great. I think people are too harsh. The gameplay's amazing. I really love just the action of it, and like how the combat feels is so fucking good. I love the cheesy edgelord on purpose aesthetic. I love that Dante feels like an edgelord character that learns to not be as much of an edgelord as the game goes on, where his jokes get less edgy and he realizes he's being an asshole. I just I love a lot about this game. I love the twist at the end is pretty cool. I love the gameplay overall. It's just a really fun game, and I feel like you guys are being too mean. It's my favorite DMC game gameplay wise. I haven't played 5 yet, so don't crucify me. 5 might be better, but I really like this game so fucking much. So, this is, I guess, my final rankings of every game that I beat in 2023, with some that are from the edge of 2022, and some that are from, like, now, that I just haven't beat yet, but mostly beat. I think I was honestly scared that most of this list would be like in one category, but I think I varied it enough. There's games I hate, there's games I think were okay, liked, loved, and adored, my favorite games of all time or whatever. Hope this is entertaining for you, because this was an hour and 6 minutes of my life. Technically an hour and 46 minutes, because I lost one of the recordings 40 minutes in. But I think that's it. I think that's everything. I might have missed a game or two, but I don't think I did. So, Happy New Year, guys. Content is coming out. I believe every Monday in January there's going to be a new video for Pokemon Kanto Black. And every Friday there's going to be a new video for Frogger's Adventures 2, The Lost Wand, with the finale of Frogger 2 probably going up on the 31st, so it can all be in 1 month because it's only like 5 episodes. The Yu-Gi-Oh channel is going to be good. We have Red Dragon Archfiend coming out early next year, early in January. We have, I think by the time this is up, maybe? I don't think so. I think it'll be like a day or two later, just to be sure, that the Magic the Gathering Arena video for Part 2 is coming up. Thanks for sticking with me since November. And thanks for the views that I have gotten. I know I haven't gotten a lot of views, but every view matters to me. I love seeing that 30 people watched my video. That's insane. It's lame, I know. As usual, I have a Twitter in the description. I have a Let's Play channel and the original channel. I don't know which channel this is going on. I think I think it's going on the Let's Play channel, so you're already on the Let's Play channel. I have a Magic the Gathering and Yu-Gi-Oh channel. I have a Twitter. I have a Blue Sky. I would say all of that will be linked in the description, but YouTube's not letting me do links right now for some reason on this channel. So, I don't know. You can find it, I guess. Have a great new year, guys. I hope this year is going to be better than last one. 2023 as a whole was kind of a shit year for me. And I hope 2024 is going to be better. I'll do everything in my power to make it better. And I hope I get better at content, and the content keeps rolling out. See you guys later.